Spoken For Communications brings you this preview of the huge championship matchup between North Carolina Central and those Aggies from North Carolina A&T. I'm Chris Hooks, the play-by-play voice of the NCCU Sports Network, joined by the head coach of the Eagles, Jerry Mack. Coach, back in December of last year, you were hired, press conference. If I'd have told you on November 22nd, you'll be playing for a conference championship against North Carolina A&T, I think you would have shook my hand and left the press conference right there with a smile on your face.
There's no doubt about it. We were right where we need to be and where we want to be as a football program right now. Competing for a championship in the last game, having something to play for, Eagle Aggie Classic, that's where we need to be.
Man, I tell you what, that's the exact reason why we made that move to Division I, to have games like this. Can you feel the buzz around the campus starting to pick up as we get closer to kickoff?
I can. I've gotten all kind of emails and telephone calls, some asking for tickets, but it's all good right now. But it's a good situation to be in.
Now, we do have tickets available. If you go to nccueaglepride.com, there are tickets available. It is not sold out just yet. So get your tickets, protect the nest, wear your maroon and gray. We need it packed for Saturday against North Carolina A&T. Coaches, we talk about those Aggies from North Carolina A&T. Well-coached squad and Rod Broadway, well-respected around the MEAC and in college football in general. And when you look at his team, to me that comes to mind is fundamentals. They're very good, very well-coached, very good and balanced on both sides of the football.
They are. Offensively, they have one of the most dynamic running backs in the country right now. They do a great job of finding creative ways to get him the football. The quarterback is a good football player, too. He does a good job of keeping the chains alive, keep things moving. On the defense side of the football, their front seven is extremely good. And you can always expect that with Coach Broadway being a defensive line guy by trade. So they do a great job up front getting after the quarterback and causing penetration in the run game. And special teams is just sound. They do a great job fundamentally, and you can tell they're well coached.
And, they've got a guy just like Adrian Wilkins in the back. He hasn't done it a ton this year like Adrian. Tony McCray can return it. He's got super speed. So we have to be as sound as we have been throughout this whole season.
Right. Our special teams has, been playing solid the entire year. In the last two games, they've been playing extraordinary. And, we hope to keep that going. And our punt block team has been doing really good. And our punt return team has been putting up some big numbers this year.
What's the message this week? I know this senior group hasn't really done very well against A&T over the last 4 years.
Well, just to come out to send these seniors out on top. They've been through a lot of turmoil throughout their career. The third head coach during their tenure for the most part. And we just want to make sure we send them out the right way with a championship ring.
Well, we hope that is the case, Coach. How is that going to happen? How do you beat North Carolina A&T?
The first thing is, we have to limit the turnovers. They do a great job of creating turnovers, so we cannot turn the football over and give them any advantage in that aspect. Also, too, controlling the trenches. Any football game, you want to make sure you do a great job at the line of scrimmage, offense and defense, controlling that line of scrimmage to try to get the ball a little bit more and keep the time of possession up.
This is a game where Andre Clark, if he can get between the tackles, could really do some damage if he's effective.
It is. Andre's been doing really well the entire year. And I think for a senior to go out on top, trying to, give his heart and soul out there on the football field in his last game here in O'Kelly Riddick, I'm looking for some big things out of Andre.
Then defensively, we talked about Felix Small and Eagle Talk, Ty Brown, another guy. You got Theo Livingston, you got C.J. Moore, you got other guys that have just had great years this year. If they can play the way they did against Norfolk State, you got to like your chances.
I do. 4 seniors came up big last week: Felix Small, Ty Brown, C.J. Moore, and Saheed Muhammad. And that's what we wanted to be. That's what we talked about to those senior groups all the time. This is your football team. This is your legacy. Tell them all the time, Hall of Fame, teams that win championships going to the Hall of Fame, and that's what we're trying to be.
Coach, hopefully we're talking about that come next week as you take on North Carolina A&T. Best of luck, and hope we're talking about a championship after this.
Me too, Chris.
That is head coach Jerry Mack. Spoken For Communications previews North Carolina Central and North Carolina A&T. Again, there are still tickets available for the matchup. We hope to see you there. We'll be on the air at 1:30 p.m. Enjoy the ball game.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.